Hey everyone, it's Shama with Girls and Geese, and we are back again. We are here for our very first Next Generation interview. This is a series that we put together for an opportunity to interview some of our up and coming young ladies that will take us to that next level as far as Jiu Jitsu goes. So today we have Helena on. She'll be on here shortly with us. She will tell us all about herself, and we'll get to learn more. So we're super excited to have her on today. Yay! Hey, how are you?
Hi, thank you for the opportunity
No,
to
thanks for
invite
being
me.
on with us. We're excited to have you on and to learn a little bit more about you. You've been tearing up the jiu-jitsu scene for some time now. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Helena. I am 13 years old. I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for 5 years, and I'm a green black belt.
Excellent. So how did you get started in jiu-jitsu?
So I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was 8, and my parents wanted me to do some strength and conditioning, but the owner of the gym said that he had Jiu-Jitsu too, and he said I should try it. So I tried it and I just fell in love with it and I never stopped since.
Excellent. What do you love most about jiu-jitsu? What is it that
Oh,
keeps you going?
yeah, I love that it's fun and I like that it keeps me like busy. I like to have like an activity to do, so it's just really fun to me.
Excellent. So, so you've been tearing up the jiu-jitsu scene. I think you just recently got some. What was it? The Fight to Win. You had what was that you just placed with Fight to Win?
Yes, so I fought for the teen no gi title, and I had one fight and I won that one by decision, and then the second time I defended it, and I won that one by submission.
What'd you win with?
An armbar.
Excellent. What is your signature move? Like if somebody who trains with you often, what would they say that's something that they you catch them over and over again with?
I mean, like I catch them in different things. I just like get whatever they give me, but I mostly like arm bars and I like to play from guard.
Excellent. So, so of all your accomplishments, I know you're coming up the ranks, you're getting more and more opportunities now as you're transitioning into the team divisions. What is the accomplishment that you're most proud of that you've hit so far?
Well, my favorite competitions are Fight to Win and Pan Kids. I'm a four times Pan Kid champion and also the two times Fight to Win title. Those are definitely my two favorite competitions.
Excellent. So moving forward, now that you're transitioning into the teens and then on into the adults, what are some goals that you will have that you want to hit? Like, what are some of your big goals moving forward?
I want to be a world champion at the IBJJF Worlds and maybe fight for more titles and more and get more accomplishments in competitions.
Excellent. So I know there's a lot of little girls that tune in, and a lot of parents that are tuning in as well. What are some advice that you can give them on how to be a champion like yourself?
Well, just like train hard, be persistent, be focused, and like don't give up. Like the how hard you train, that's like I believe how good you're gonna be in competition.
Be, I know that it's got to be hard. You know, you're a young lady, you're juggling friends, you're juggling school, you're juggling everything else. So how do you find balance between all of like hanging out with your friends and your homework and everything like that?
So I'm homeschooled. I've been doing homeschooling since I started school. So pretty much I have time to train two times a day at Cobrinha, Jiu Jitsu Las Vegas. And like after I finish the morning class, I go home and I do school. And then after that, I have a little bit of free time to like chat with friends. And then I also have like and then after that at night I have the night class and then the next day it's the same. In the weekends I have like some time to spend time with friends.
So you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So for parents, I understand your parents are super supportive, right? When I
Yes,
asked
they
you about
are.
the interview, they're like, "Oh, they support everything that I do. This jujitsu."
Yes.
Was what did you know going into jujitsu that that's something that you wanted to do, or was it like immediately like you fell in love with it, or was it like, oh, your parents were making you go and then you fell in love with it? How did that start?
So pretty much like they didn't really push me. They just like said if I like it, I can keep going and they can sign me up. If not, then I can like try something else. But I was like I wanted to try some more and then like the more I did it, the more I liked it.
So now is it something they can't pull you away from? You have to go. You want to go to jujitsu all the time.
Yeah, and now I train 2 times a day and I just love it. It's like sometimes like they ask me if I'm tired, I'm like, no, I want to go.
You're young. You got all that energy. Well, it's good that you have that outlet. Do a lot of your friends train, or do you know them from outside of jujitsu, or
Most of them are outside of jiu-jitsu. And sometimes they maybe come to try a class with me, but they usually don't really like it. So I mostly like train by myself there.
do you train with
Yeah.
the adults, or do they have a teen class, or are you training with the kids? I know it's an
I train,
awkward time.
yeah, I train with adult in the adult class, and I have really tough rounds there, but I like it. It's like because the kids class aren't many kids my size, so the adult class is much better for me.
Yeah, a lot of kids kind of fall when they're at your age. They kind of fall into that issue where they're too they're too grown up for the kids, but then they're kind of transitioning into that adult class. And I know my favorite partner when I was a blue belt years and years and years ago was a 12-year-old boy because he just destroyed me over and over and over again, and he made me a much better practitioner.
Yeah.
So they're
I'm one of,
go
I'm
ahead.
one of the youngest ones in the adult class, but I'm fine with that. It like I just want them to challenge me and it's okay. I roll with like different body types and different ages and different belts.
Who's your favorite training partner? You want to give him a shout out?
Well, like pretty much anyone. Like I've I like to roll with my professor, Hector Vasquez. He's always like fun to roll with, so maybe he's one of my favorites.
Excellent. So, what advice do you have? I know you said your parents have never pushed you. What advice do you have to parents when starting to put their kids into jujitsu? What helped you kind of keep you going and want to keep training as opposed to, oh, I got to go to jujitsu today? What advice do you have for the parents out there that are listening?
So for the parents, like ask your children if they like it, if they do try to support them as much as you can. If not, like don't push them too much. Like ask them what they like better and try to get them signed up to in that sport.
So, do you have any other hobbies? I know you're training twice a day, so that's a lot of time, but is there anything else that you're interested in that you enjoy doing?
So like sometimes I usually have a lot of school, so but sometimes I like to do photo editing. I like to read books and pretty much that.
What kind of books
And
do you
then,
like to read?
uh pretty much fantasy novels based on real life. It just all depends on the book.
Gotcha. Photography was my first love, so I'm happy to hear that you enjoy doing. What do you like to take pictures of, and what do you like to edit? Do you like doing the Photoshop, or do you like to?
I like to do Photoshop usually. Like I like to spend time editing my photos and sometimes I like to take pictures of like my pets. I really like animals, so
What pets do you have? Are they dogs or
uh,
cats or lizards or birds?
I have two parrots. One's a
Ah,
Senegal from Africa, And another one is white-bellied kaique from Brazil.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I have a cat. It's he's 10 years old right now, and he's all white.
Ah, you got a zoo over there. Is it your job to take care of them, to feed them and clean the cages and such, or?
Well, I do it with my mom. Like we like it depends on who has time when, but my parrot, the white-bellied kaique, I pretty much take care of him because the other parrot doesn't like me. So yeah, he's a one-person bird. So my
Ah,
other parrot, I pretty much take care of him the most.
so who's his favorite person? Your other parent.
So yeah, probably me
Ah.
because he usually likes to spend time with me and he tries to fly to me, but he can't fly, so it's
Awesome. So, say we've gone over a lot of your hobbies and what you enjoy doing. What do you like to do with your friends? They don't do jujitsu. What do 13-year-old girls do these days? I know you guys like be on your phone. But what do you do when you guys get together?
so like we just like talk, like sometimes we play a board game, play cards. That's pretty much it. So yeah.
Excellent. So, as far going back to jujitsu, and you said you loved it, and so what do you hope and I know you're 13 years old, but you inspire a lot of young girls and you inspire a lot of adults as well, just watching you out there. Your jiu-jitsu is very
Thank you.
beautiful. You
Thank
guys
you.
have, it's inspiring to watch. You guys are the next generation,
Yeah.
and you started when you were little, and by the time you hit my age, jiu-jitsu is going to be on a whole different level because you guys started. I started when I was in my 20s, and I'm now in my 40s. So I can only imagine you guys starting when you're 8 and then when you're into your 30s. What do you think
Yeah.
jujitsu is going to be like in the future? I do you have a lot of young girls to compete against? Or are you competing against the boys when you go to local tournaments?
So right now, like I'm a green belt and I'm bigger than most kids my age. So I usually go with adults in the adults division. So that's where I've been competing lately, or with older teens and juveniles.
Gotcha. So there, you don't find a lot of kids your size and your belt yet.
No, I usually have to move up, like either in age or in weight, sometimes both, and most of the time blue belts.
Gotcha. So I'm guessing because you are inspiring so many young girls that's going to change, as time goes on
Yeah.
because now they're going to start when they're 8 and they're going to kind of keep going like you have. Who is your idol? Do you have any idols in jiu-jitsu, like somebody you look up to and someday I want to be like them in some way?
Well, pretty much like anyone who is inspiring in a way is like an idol. I don't really have one of the big names, but I look up to anyone who like tries their best, or any woman or girl that is like that likes jujitsu and stuff like that. Those are my idols usually.
What has been your favorite memory, your favorite jujitsu memory? Something, it could be something small, it could be, something big. What stands out to you as being one of those moments that you're like, oh, I'm gonna remember that forever.
Well, I always remember all of my competitions. Like I keep them in mind, and probably my most memorable one was when I won my first Pan Kids because I always wanted to do that competition, but I didn't get a chance until I got my gray belt. And then the first time I won there, it was like so amazing and I loved it. And then also I liked doing the first fight to win. It was like amazing. All the lights and like all this setup was so cool. So those are pretty much my most favorite memories.
You feel like a rock star when you're out there on that stage, huh? With the smoke
Yeah.
machine and the lights, and you come walking
Yeah.
through. Yeah. Seth does a really amazing job putting on
Yes, he
those.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah, I started a long time ago, and there just weren't these opportunities for young ladies like yourself or grown women
Yeah.
either. So it's really exciting to see where jujitsu is headed towards.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. It's really awesome to see that there are, like submission on the shore. There's so many more things that are catering just to the women, whereas before they just didn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that super fights are gonna get bigger and bigger soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you looking at like looking forward, who are some people that you want to compete against someday? Is there anybody that
Well,
stands out?
I've had a couple of people who've challenged me, but I really like don't challenge anyone. It's like whoever I get in my division, I'll fight. It's okay, and I'll do my best.
To, nobody
Yeah.
stands out like, oh, I want to fight Gabby Garcia, or I want to fight Mackenzie Dern or Bia Mesquita.
I mean, like if the opportunity comes, I would, but like I wouldn't like push and anything or challenge people. Just I let it come naturally.
Have you ever thought about doing mixed martial arts like MMA?
For now, just jiu-jitsu. I really I like watching UFC sometimes, but I just like jiu-jitsu more. I feel like it fits me better than doing MMA. So for now, just jiu-jitsu.
Gotcha. Yeah, MMA is a lot different. It's jujitsu with punching. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's a whole different game. But a lot of jujitsu fighters have successfully transitioned. Like you look at Mackenzie Dern, and she's doing
Yeah.
really good in UFC.
Yes,
But
he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see that. So, so if you were to do anything, if you were to go train with somebody or travel and do a competition in another country, back in Brazil, or what is one of those things that you would really like to do someday?
Well, for jiu-jitsu, I like to open my own gym and I like to do seminars, like, and just travel and compete as much as I can. So for now that and like also like travel around and doing seminars in all cities, that would be pretty fun, I think.
Oh yeah, that's living the jiu-jitsu dream right there. It's a little hard right now, but you got a
Yeah.
lot of time. Well, awesome. Well, it was such a pleasure talking with you. I'm so glad that we got
Thank
to be
you.
on here. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Anything to anybody listening today?
Well, thank you to all who tuned in, and I hope I inspire a lot of people. And thank you for the opportunity to come here and talk a little bit about my jiu-jitsu.
Well, it was a pleasure talking with you. Thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you.
for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing where you go. I think the sky's the limit. You're going to be shattering some ceilings for sure.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, you take care, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, check out Girls and Geese. We have a whole bunch of interview series, panel discussions, and instructional videos. So go to girlsandgeese.com. You can see everything that's going on.